Environment and Adolescent Health, Dr. Shivupi, Pediatrician, Mysore. Phone number 789250189. WhatsApp number 94484777380. Visit www.slideshare.net /Dr. Shivu for articles, and YouTube search Dr. Shivupi for videos on environment and health. Recharge soil water. This is my 19th published speech. As I said in my 18th speech, now onwards we will focus on artificial irrigation system, which are evolved as the effort of humans to get and distribute water to the needy areas in the form of wells, tube wells, pipelines, canals, dams, and reservoirs, and so on. In this speech, we will try to understand how the surface water management is going to make the life of the adolescent, his peers, his parents, and the society better, and brings health, happiness, prosperity, and longevity in all. World Environment Day. The World Environment Day was established by United Nations General Assembly in 1972 to mark the opening of the Stockholm's Conference on the Human Environment. World Environment Day is led by the United Nations Environment Program and held annually since 1973. It has grown to be the largest global platforms for environmental outreach. World Environment Day is in 2025 focused on ending plastic pollution. The Republic of Korea will host the global celebration on 5th June 2025. For decades, plastic pollution has seeped into every corner of the world, leaching into the water we drink, the food we eat, and our bodies. Present adolescents needs to take up a great responsibility in this aspect because they are going to live long within this environment. This is the internal environment. We are born as a newborn. We get care, becoming stronger, taller, sharper. Growth and development is time bound. You cannot stop it. Knowledge you gain, thinking, expressing is yours. You become an adolescent. Influence you imbibe. Puberty changes are confusing for many adolescents but unavoidable. Culture you develop strength in adulthood. Behavior you express, going for dependency in later age and becoming dependent, they are all unavoidable. Skin is yours, breathing is mandatory, you cannot stop it. Thirst is the alarm of brain, hunger is the sign of need, hygiene is the principle of life and keeps the body clean through excretion. This is the external environment around our internal environment. We are born as the newborn, parents are nurturing, knowledge you gain, teachers teach us, the speech and activity you express are the outputs, influence you imbibe, peers stimulate, culture you develop, you grow with family, behavior you express, community, media and social media influences. Skin is yours, temperature depends on the activities of the entire population, breathing is mandatory, air is the free gift by the nature at present, thirst is the alarm, water is the gift of the nature, hunger is the sign of need, nature, agriculture gives nutrition, hygiene is the principle of life, nature tries to digest and recycle the excreta when there is appropriate load. Our body will not listen to us. Growth and development is time bound. You cannot stop it. Our body will not listen to us. We have to listen to it. It is physiology. Adolescence, everyone has to pass through this stage. Puberty changes are confusing for many adolescents, but unavoidable. May create anxiety in the absence of awareness. Strength in adulthood increases and it is transient. Going for dependency in later age and becoming dependent happens with time. They are all unavoidable. Skin is yours, temperature is environmental. Skin is yours. It will not stop sensing the temperature. Extremes of temperature will cause the life. Temperature depends on the activities of the entire population. It is the balance between the production and utilization of greenhouse gases in the nature. Climate is changing and we have already experiencing the changes happening gradually. For example, in Mysore in April 2024, the temperature reached up to 44 degrees centigrade, 7 degrees centigrade more than our body temperature. Why global warming and climate changes? Increase in population has caused enormous pressure on the chemistry of air, water, food and temperature. All these are primarily decided by one biochemical reactions which has ruled and ruling this entire earth for centuries unknown, which all of us know is C6H12O6 plus 6O2. That is cellular metabolism gives 6H2O plus 6CO2 plus energy, that is in the form of ATP plus heat. The reverse is the photosynthesis by the plants at the cost of land and time. Why global warming and climate changes? The recent additions from few centuries is 6NH2N plus 2 plus NO2 is equal to combustion in the engine is equal to NH2O plus NCO2 plus heat, that is petrol, that is the fossil fuel, plus oxygen in the air gives water and greenhouse gas, that is heat retaining vessels, for example carbon dioxide. We need heat retaining vessels, that is greenhouse gases, to maintain optimum temperature in the atmosphere. But we are liberating more through our activities, but not converting them again into the carbon mass to the same extent, or destroying more carbon mass in the name of development, which are responsible for global warming and climate changes. Total number of registered vehicle in 1950 was 3 lakhs. Now in 2024 it is more than 34 crores in India. Global warming, climate changes and the disasters in the environment. Global warming and climate changes are the ongoing disasters in the environment, progressing very fast in the recent decades, and it is going to take all of us to the end soon if we do not think and take measures to prevent it. We have to preserve planet Earth because all of us will not be able to go and settle well in some other planet in case if we lose this only available Mother Earth, even if some people can do it in the near future. So prevent global warming and climate changes. The solution to prevent planet Earth from the climate change is present in the soil. Preventing climate changes is equal to maintaining 25% soil water and 5% soil organics all across the globe. That is equal to re-establishing the soil which was there at least 500 years ago. Breathing is mandatory. Air is the free gift of the nature. Breathing is mandatory. You cannot stop it. Lungs not getting compatible air for more than 3 minutes will cost the life. Air is the free gift by the nature at present, may not be in the future. Demand versus supply and marketing mafia for oxygen led to many deaths in the recent years during corona pandemic. Please remember the incidences like deaths of many people due to lack of oxygen at the needy time. So it will cost lives. It will, if we do not understand the relation between the plants and the animals, especially humans. Air, water, food, temperature, their quantity and land requirement relationship. If we consider our respiratory system requirement, total volume of air required to meet the one day's breathing is 500 ml per breath multiplied by 20 breaths per minute multiplied by 60 minutes in a hour multiplied by 24 hours in a day is equal to 14,400 liters. Total volume of oxygen required to meet the one day's breathing is, that is 20% of 500 ml, that is 100 ml per breath multiplied by 20 breaths multiplied by 60 minutes multiplied by 24 hours is equal to 2880 liters, that is equal to 2.88 cubic meters. Total weight of 1 cubic meter of oxygen under standard atmospheric temperature and pressure is 2.92 pounds. The oxygen requirement per person per day becomes 2.88 meter cube multiplied by 2.92 pounds per meter cube is equal to 8.4 pounds per day or 3066 pounds per annum. One average size tree produces nearly 260 pounds of oxygen each year. Number of average size trees needed to meet the oxygen need of 1% becomes 12. Sea also liberates oxygen from oceanic planktons, drifting plants, algae and some bacteria. India has 35 billion trees, that is 25 trees per person, a low per capita trees. China has 100 trees, Brazil 1500 trees, Canada 9000 trees per person. Oxygen is also required for breathing of all other animals. Trees also needs to supply oxygen for kitchen and bathroom stoves, vehicles, factories and so on to serve humans. Since the per capita tree is 25 in India, it becomes mandatory and crucial for all of us to understand early about the fact that we are very close to the danger levels of air quality. If the population increases and if the number of trees decreases or forest area decreases as it is happening with the present speed of development, then the per capita trees will decrease further and we will develop breathing difficulties due to low oxygen level in the inspired air. Thirst is the alarm of the brain. Water is the gift of the nature. Thirst is the alarm of the brain. Life without water for 3 days may cost life. There is no scarcity of water in this earth, but the distribution of water on land, soil, water is not even. If all of us work together in coordination, then it is possible to maintain normal soil water all across the land, which keeps all the streams, tributaries, rivers to flow all across the year, and all living organisms will get quality air, water and food. Water, soil water content makes the difference with soil nutrients for the growth of the plants and trees in providing air and food by converting carbon dioxide into carbon mass. Observe the trees. Where the trees near the water pathways are bigger, taller, with more leaves, bigger size of stem and branches, forming bigger carbon mass as compared to the trees which are smaller and stout as they are a little away from the water pathways and as they get less water even though they may be of the same age. Hunger is the sign of need. Nature, agriculture gives nutrition. Hunger is the alarm of the brain. Life without food for 30 days may cost a life. On this land, food will not be formed without carbon dioxide molecules. At the same time, more importantly, we need to know carbon dioxide will not generate food without H2O molecules and without the space in the land containing all the essential nutrients for its growth with the time. Hunger is the sign of need. Nature, agriculture gives nutrition. Adolescence between 10 to 19 years is the period of rapid physical and mental growth. During this period, adolescents gain the final 20% of their adult height, achieves 50% of their adult body weight, and accumulate up to 40% of their adult skeletal mass. Due to the high velocity of growth, their energy, protein, and micronutrient requirements are much more than any other age group. Inadequate nutrition can delay sexual maturation, slow or stop linear growth, compromise peak bone mass, and make them susceptible to micronutrient deficiencies, particularly iron, calcium, zinc, and vitamin D, and eventually they cannot attain their growth potential. Nutrition of adolescent girl needs extra attention as she is the future mother. Her optimum nutrition and growth will have positive impacts on birth weight and health of her baby. Malnutrition, that is under or overnutrition, is common in teenager. Recently, a pan-Indian survey has documented that more than 50% adolescents are either wasted, stunted, overweight or obese, and over 80% are suffering from deficiency of one or more micronutrients such as iron, folic acid, zinc, vitamin B12 and vitamin D3. Adolescence is the last opportunity for catch-up growth in life. So inculcating healthy eating behavior and regular physical activity can help teenagers to maintain normal body weight, prevent micronutrient deficiencies and reducing the risk of non-communicable diseases in adult life. Example, cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes mellitus, hypertension and cancers. The adolescent period is characterized by dramatic cognitive, social and emotional changes in addition to the physical changes. Apart from these changes, their eating behavior is influenced by their search for identity, growing independence, concern with appearance and need for peer acceptance and active lifestyle. In addition, lack of adequate knowledge, lack of time due to scholastic pressures, other activities and spending more screen time, food fads, advertisements and fast food culture can all affect their eating habits. This is happening in every family, so there is no need to panic. Involve them in buying, planning menu and in cooking. Try to lessen the stressors. Involve them in physical activities and with time they will come back to their desired eating habits soon. There are simple measures to monitor adequate nutrition, which are as follows. She is not looking pale, is active, not irritable or cranky, and sleeps well. Adolescent girl eating slightly more than the mother and boy eating equal to the father is a good measure for calorie intake. Most importantly, if they are gaining height and weight, so do regular measurements of their weight and height at least at a 6-monthly interval by a trained health worker or a doctor. There are growth charts for Indian adolescents available from www.iapindia.org bar growth charts. Plot it serially. A balanced diet includes all food groups like cereals, pulses, vegetables, fruits, and dairy or meat every day. Carbohydrate should make up 50 to 65% of energy intake, protein 10 to 30%, and fat 25 to 35%. They should eat 3 meals breakfast, lunch, dinner, and 2 to 3 snacks per day. Variety within each food group is recommended. Ensure having a healthy breakfast daily. Avoid skipping meals. An adolescent boy should eat equal to his father 2400 to 2800 calories, and girl a little more than her mother 2100 to 2400 calories, depending on activity ranging from sedentary to athletic or competitive sports. One should choose from following categories of food. Go foods, that is energy giving foods. They are cereals 8 to 15 servings of 30 grams each. They are whole wheat, rice, maize, jowar, corn, bajra, buckwheat, and amaranth. Fats and oils 7 to 10 servings of 5 grams each, that is 35 to 50 grams. Use a mix of desi ghee, butter, palm oil, mustard, sesame, groundnut oil, olive, coconut oil, sunflower, safflower, soya bean, and canola, approximately 1/3 of each group. Sugars 4 to 6 servings of 5 grams each, that is 20 to 30 grams. Grow foods, growth promoting foods. Pulses 2 to 3 servings of 30 grams each, about 2 cooked katori of a variety of dal, beans, lentils, etc. For non-vegetarians, 1 serving of pulses may be replaced by 1 serving, that is 50 grams of egg, meat, fish, chicken, etc. Milk and milk products 5 servings of 100 ml each. It includes low-fat milk, buttermilk, curd, cottage cheese, and vegetable milk such as soya, almond, and tofu. Glow foods, protective foods. They are fruits, 2 servings of 80 gram each, 1 medium sized apple, banana, orange, mango, or 2 small kiwi, plums, apricots, or 250 ml of fresh fruit juice. Note, whole fruits are to be preferred over fruit juices. Green leafy and other vegetables. 1 serving of 80 grams of green leafy vegetables, about 1 cup of green vegetables, 1 serving of other colored vegetables, red, yellow, violet like brinjal, capsicum, pumpkin, tomato and peas, etc. about 1 katori. 1 serving of tubers, radish, cucumber, etc. Others, 30 grams of nuts, handful of walnut, peanuts, groundnuts, almonds or cashew nuts. Fibers, 15 to 25 grams from fruits, vegetables, whole grain like whole wheat, bread, etc. Important for bulk satiety and prevention of constipation. Water at least 1.5 to 2 liters per day. For easy understanding and standardized diet, US Food and Nutrition Department has developed a concept of choose my plate. National Institute of Nutrition India has given the concept of thali. It is recommended that half plate should be filled by fruits and vegetables, remaining half should be proteins, pulses, non-veg foods, and in 1/3 part cereals, whole wheat, rice, maize, bajra. So here you can see, so half of the plate fruits and vegetables, 1/3 of the plate is cereals and nuts. So the remaining is fats and oils, nuts and seeds, pulses, eggs and fresh foods with glass of milk and or curds. Girls need extra greens and dairy for iron and calcium requirement to compensate for menstrual blood loss. It should be accompanied by low fat milk, that is 200 to 250 ml, or buttermilk, fresh juice, fresh lime, kanchi, etc. Please visit www.choosemyplate.gov USA site and www.nin.res.in for Indian site. Environment has to give this plate of food. The quality and quantity of this food increases with 25% soil water and 5% soil organics. Science behind the truth, the ruler, the truth that stands first and universally accepted by all without any controversy is all the living beings wanted to live comfortably. It applies to both plants and animals. Comfortable meaning getting good air for breathing, good water for drinking, good food for eating, and a comfortable temperature. Food wastage increases the need of surface available potable water. Just to grow the food we eat and for domestic purpose, 2000 liters per person per day of water is required. That is 2000 liters of water per person per day multiplied by 1.4 billion people of India multiplied by 365 days becomes 30,000 TMC of water. That is 30,000 TMC of water is the total water requirement for the people of India for their food and daily activity, which excludes the water requirement of all other animals, all the trees, manufacturing, construction, and so on. So, food wastage means loss of surface available potable water, loss of economy, loss of energy, loss of efforts, loss of land utilization, and so on. So, do not waste food. Hygiene is the principle of life. Nature tries to recycle the excreta. Hygiene is the principle of life and keeps our body clean through excretion. Nature tries to digest and recycle the excreta when there is appropriate load. Plants take up excreta, that is carbon dioxide, urine, stools, dead and decaying tissues, and provides oxygen, nutrition, and maintaining appropriate environmental temperature. Whatever is the waste, it has to be excreted in an appropriate way from the body. Accumulation of waste due to inappropriate waste disposal from the body of animals leads to accumulation of waste and costs the life. Excess waste in a small area of land, indigestible waste by the land and water like plastics, and inappropriate waste disposal leads to health hazards and damages the life of all the living beings, both humans and animals, living close to that area, and it can cost lives. Per capita land requirement consideration in square meters. So this we have discussed in our previous discussion. Now we will focus on how much land is required for digestion of excreta. Developed countries consider this as 10,000 square meters. Developing countries with less population considers this as 5,000 square meters. Developing countries with more population may consider it as 2,500 square meters, but the situation in India is it is only 500 square meters per person. Parents give the care. You get the care. Parents appropriate economy factors, investment models, parenting skills, increased employment, reduced poverty, better interaction with value added words, nurturing appropriately, clear and consistent discipline will influence positively on the child and adolescents. Parents nurture you. You are becoming stronger, taller, sharper. Parents involving in feeding the child with love and care is important in creating healthy adolescent. Balanced parental monitoring, supervision and nurturing may prevent children from associating with deviant peers. Parents and family members nurturing the child and behaving responsibly may influence the risk behavior and deviance to children. Parents, the care you get, non-effective emotional skills, non-effective social skills, abnormal social behavior will endue their children with the genes that predispose them to certain risks. Example, substance abuse. Stress is likely to have a negative effects on parenting. Yet positive parenting can also profoundly affect outcomes for young people. Parental anger and stress impacts negatively on adolescents. Reducing parental distress, reducing parental conflicts, reducing relationship difficulties, promoting effective parenting, incorporating the children's perspective, that is encouraging them to feel that they are the part of the solutions to the family's difficulties, bring good changes in the adolescent. Effective communication skill will solve most of the problems and bring happiness in all. Teacher and environment teachers. Teacher teaches, it is formal. Environment is the best teacher and the learning starts from the womb. It is non-formal. You gain knowledge. Schools have broad structural characteristics that varies from school to school and from place to place, depending upon the socio-economic status of the population they serve, their size and the ratio of teachers to students, school and classroom size, and the students and teachers mobility and so on. Strong bonds with teachers and peers at school can be a positive influence, but many characteristics of middle and high school are not conducive to the development of such bonds. Knowledge provides the base for thinking. Thinking is yours. The speech and activity you express are the outputs. School is typically the largest and most important institution with which young people are involved, and it is the primary contest for their development. Thinking right is the need, and it takes the adolescents in the right path. Speaking good with good knowledge brings good things in turn, and vice versa. School-based intervention appears to be effective at reducing alcohol and drug use, dropout rates, absence and other conduct problems. Peer influence and the future. Peers stimulate, you get the influence. There is a definite relation between puberty and growing importance of the peer group. Good peer group brings positive changes in the adolescent, which makes the life of the adolescent better in the future and vice versa. The strengthening family interventions, for example, a universal intervention that addresses the parenting skills of individuals with children aged 10 to 40 years, has shown success in reducing conduct problems and affiliation with antisocial peers. Peer influences are reciprocal. That is, for example, children in groups in which the majority are aggressive will become more so. The children in groups in which the majority are not aggressive will become less so. Family teaches culture to the adolescents. Family influence, culture you develop. Good influences, good relationship, less family stress, less family conflicts, good competencies, pro-social behavior and values are protective. High levels of family conflicts and poor communication skills disrupts parenting and family relations. It reduces children's emotional security. They reinforce the use of aggression and interpersonal hostility. Families experiencing adversity such as economic hardships, parental drivers, death, or mental illness, or parental criminal activity will affect negatively. Economic hardship is associated with dysfunctional families and with a range of difficulties for adolescents, including risk taking. This sort of adolescence tends to seek peers like themselves and to become more like the peers with whom they associate. And here too, the net effect may be positive or negative. Community influences adolescents. Community influences behavior you express. The communities in which young people live can also have important influences on their development for good or bad. Communities also may have structural characteristics that are supportive of positive adolescent development, such as social networks and resource for young people. Media influence on adolescent. Media, among the environmental influences that affects teenagers' development, perhaps the most difficult to study is the wide, fast evolving array of media and technologies that are part of their lives. Any list of sorts of devices and programming to which young people may have access is likely to be at least somewhat outdated within months. The rapidly expanding universe of media devices and venues is having a profound influence on the experience of adolescents, with effects that includes evolving norms for many behaviors and particularly a loosening of sexual attitudes and an increase in sexual activity. At the same time, the media provides a potentially powerful tool for influencing young people in a positive direction. Influence of technology on adolescents. Technology. On an average, 8 to 18 years old use media actively for 6 hours and 21 minutes every day, often using multiple medias at the same time. Internet access, now widely promoted even for very young children through toy-related game website designed as a part of product promotion campaigns and the like, has introduced a new source of influence with complex implications. School going for online will make children to access internet frequently with both positive and negative effects. Influence of social media on adolescents. Social media, the media, technology and the society for adolescents. It is like the air they breathe, the water they drink, the food they eat. They are all neutral. They are not malignant. They are not bad, but they are very powerful. They can be used to do great good, or used thoughtlessly, they can harm. Bad air, water, food can cause diseases. Harmful media harms the mind. Watching good content through media can boost knowledge, can support profession and life. Recharge soil, water. Parents care for their children and adolescents. With 25% soil, water and 5% organics, parents' economy becomes better with appropriate time of work. Purchasing power of the parents becomes better. Family members can plan and buy condiments, fruits and vegetables in a better way. Children and adolescents will get better nutritious food. Parents can spend quality family time with children and adolescents. Recharge soil, water. In my next speech, I will be speaking about influence of climate change on health, and later how artificial water pathways, that is, the man-made canals created artificially to utilize the available surface water to the maximum over the land, like regular canal system, works synergistically with all the present natural and artificial irrigation system in providing water to all the lands dependent on them to make the soil water to reach 25% and above for this progressive population. By converting greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide into carbon mass, like trees for better air, water, food, temperature, with the prevention of global warming and climate changes, but the planet Earth will not be able to support n number of population. I am requesting the people of this world, the leaders and the scientists who work in this aspect to consider my thoughts on our environment, which I have delivered through my published speech to save this world intact by the effects of global warming and climate changes, and the leaders to do the needful for the same. I am requesting all the leaders of this world to utilize these thoughts to prevent desertification in their respective countries, thus participate in the process of saving this world for us and for our younger generation. If you like this, then you please subscribe my channel and share with your friends, relatives and family members till it reaches all the leaders of this world to take necessary measures so that this world remains as it is for n number of years. Thanks once again. These are my references. Thank you all. This is by Dr. Shivupi, Pediatrician, Mysore. Phone number 7892501891. WhatsApp number 94484777380. Visit www.slideshare.net bar Dr. Shivu for articles, and YouTube search Dr. Shivupi for videos on environment and health. Thanks once again.